Elon has always said it himself that he never expected Tesla to last, but rather to kick off the EV movement. And kick off the movement, it surely did. But are we getting to the phase now where Tesla is slowly drifting out of relevance? Let's talk about it. The biggest question has been, why are their sales declining so rapidly in the recent months? Well, I think the answer is simple. Other, more established car companies are finally catching up in the EV race. And given that Tesla in the car industry is still a rather young company, it's going to be really hard to compete with these offerings. This is especially the case in some international markets, like in China, where Teslas went from the hottest car to barely selling in recent months. This is mostly due to the fact that companies like BYD are making similar quality cars at a fraction of the price. Not a good sign for the survivability of Tesla in the long run in this region. And in the European and American side, now that companies like Volvo, BMW, Mercedes, and other major car brands are moving all electric, it just isn't looking good for Tesla, especially as they are competing in a luxury segment given the price of their vehicles. But this isn't the only issue. Other companies like Rivian, which are still kind of in that startup phase, are rapidly catching up and passing Tesla in sales. One of the biggest issues many speculated with Tesla is their lack of introducing new cars to the lineup in a timely manner. If you look at other companies like Toyota, they are constantly putting out new models and new revisions, and this has been a lot slower on the Tesla front. And of course, the Cybertruck is very exciting, but Tesla has really been struggling to fulfill the sales. So if it's not in anyone's hands, it's not going to really build the hype that they were hoping for. This is the same with the Tesla Roadster, for example, which was announced over 5 years ago, and there's still no notion of that ever actually hitting the market. Promising these cars is great, but if no one ever receives them, it's not going to do a lot for people that you want to be loyal to your brand. And for people who put a pre-order in for the Tesla Roadster, I feel like it's safe to say they probably went to Porsche or other brands to get a similar vehicle because it's just been way too long at this point. Undoubtedly, Tesla is a software tech company at its core. But if their vehicles can't catch up with the excellent self-driving technology they've made, it's all kind of a waste. And they should maybe go down the path of open sourcing more of the software and selling to other companies to maybe stay in relevance. I feel like Volvo especially is going to be a big threat to Tesla's future, especially as the EX30 and EX90 are right around the corner, with the EX30 specifically being a very cheap option that is going to compete directly with some of Tesla's vehicles. And it's still going to have that luxury build, but at a fraction of the price. And it's not going to use the angles that Tesla does with the estimated or expected savings. It's just what you're paying on paper. And again, Tesla's prices have been so high that they've had to start making price cuts across the board to try and compete with some of these more established brands. To further my point from earlier, other companies such as Audi, BMW, Rivian have reported a 50% increase in sales in the past year. So the problem is not reduced demand in EVs, it's reduced demand in Tesla. Another big hit has been the reduced interest in the new Model 3, which Tesla was really expecting to boost sales. A lot of the changes to that vehicle just aren't enough for existing users to upgrade and to entice new buyers to come into play. And again, like I mentioned before, Tesla's inability to meet demand for orders that people put in has been a really big hit to their longevity and the desire of people to jump on board. Usually when people buy a car, they want it fast, and if they're expected to wait years, especially if this is their only vehicle and not merely a hobby car, they're going to go elsewhere really quickly. If your car is breaking down or your car is getting older, you don't exactly have years to wait before the next one comes along. And they don't want to wait years for a potential order to go through, which is what a lot of people have been experiencing. Don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people who are super happy with their Teslas. But it's just the auto industry is one of the most competitive industries on the planet. And when Tesla loses its edge of being the only main relevant EV maker like they were in the early 2010s, it becomes far harder to compete on the global scale. But I'd like to know what you all think of this. Were you expecting sales to decline like this? Let's talk about it in the comments. And of course, if you like this video, please do like and subscribe. It helps me out so much. And I look forward to seeing you all next video. See ya.